Hello, Cinnamon Rage here, and welcome to my review of Spain, the 18th race in the F1 XL F4 calendar. And jumping straight in, it was another one of those, God, not again moments, is it? It was a wet qualifying. So, yeah, rain hasn't exactly been my friend this season, but regardless, I thought I'd watched some videos prior to this, and the suggestion seemed to be run lean mix. My goal was to run, I think it was a 6.6 in the race. I stuck with a setup 3, as the F1 XL leagues don't allow you custom setups. All you're allowed to pick is from 1 out of 5 defaults, and then adjust things that you're allowed to adjust within Park Fermi, as you can do that at a later stage. So yeah, just bumped the front line a bit, and the goal really was just to try and actually put down lean mix a wee bit more, run a medium traction control. So I guess it didn't work, as you're about to see. So what you're going to see is I've already done a session, a run, and I got 10th from it. As you can see, it wasn't great. This is the second last of my qualifying laps, and in this one I tried to do just max mix on the straights, but actually in the corners just run lean mix. I think I'd seen that in a video on someone's YouTube channel, and as you're about to see, it did not work. It's just, I think I was a second out by the end of this, but the second lap, much better, because I just thought, sort it, I'll just go back, run full max revs, and max fuel load, sorry, and just see how it went. So I'll just quiet down and let you watch these 2 laps. So yeah, coming up to the end of my final lap that I could do in qualifying, you can see that I've got over 2 and a bit seconds, but I had absolutely no concept of where the people at the front of the grid were. So I was expecting to jump kind of maybe 5th, 4th, but yeah, I ended up actually qualifying in 1st by half a second. Yep, it is half a second, so really surprised. I don't know if the track evolution was just high or what, but yeah, pretty pleased with that in the end. As wet hasn't been my best, maybe it's more intermediates that are my problem rather than full wets. So very happy with that. On my 2nd pole of the season. So yeah. So once again, I'd done a certain amount of practice again through the week, but I don't really practice in the wet that much, so when I'd been practicing for the dry conditions, I'd actually just let the game pick for me, and the game had always picked soft, hard tyres, but given that I hadn't actually used my soft to qualify on, it meant that I had free selection because of the wet qualifying, and I just could not decide, which is why you can see here me constantly flicking through. The game's generally proved that a one stop is much better, much quicker, but I decided just to risk it and go for the two because I was at the front and it would be best just to stick to the faster tyres. The selection I eventually went with was soft, medium, but during the race you'll see I actually changed to soft, medium just to try and eke out more of a gap at the front. As usual, didn't get a great start, but actually you can't see it here, but it's worth checking out the F1 XL YouTube channel for F4, as you'll see that actually there's a wee bit of a pile up behind, and that allowed me to get a wee bit of a gap. I wasn't far ahead, but Scar 3, basically black, his game froze and he took out the wing of F1 XL Rosberg, who's currently ahead of me in the championship in P2, and because of that just again created maybe like a one or so extra seconds of gap. Lanchman got in front at this point, and because Lanchman was on the slower medium tyre, I actually benefited slightly from him holding everyone up. So at this point, rich fuel mix, just boot it and try and get as much of a gap as possible. The chances are I was going to be running two stops for most of the field who were going to be running one stops. And you've got the likes of Slow Dog, etc., who are incredibly good at running the one stop and really good in their tyres. I mean, I think both myself and Slow Dog were both in the wheel, so our tyre wear should be similar. There's always a bit of variance when I compare my tyre wear to people on the pad, but yeah, I've never seen as good as him on the tyre wear front. I don't know if it's because I run higher differential or what, but it could just be bad at steering. But anyway, I decided to just try and push, and you can see at the end of the first lap, I think I was up to a 3 and a bit second gap, obviously helped by the incidents, but I'm just going to let this play for the first few laps. Yep, there you go. Yeah, and let you see how it goes, but I do open a nice wee gap here, and I'll come back the next time something actually happens. Going to jump back on here actually, so obviously at this point I'm opening a gap. My two championship contenders are F1 Rosberg and Sam Hez, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen, Rosberg has just left the session, and then almost immediately Sam Hez leaves the section. Now at this point in the season I was 22 points behind Sam Hez and 5 points behind Rosberg, not helped by my 6th in China, so those two dropping out technically means if I won this race then I would actually jump to championship position. So yeah, at that point you were like, this is a bit of pressure going on here, so again just tried to focus and just put the foot down and yeah, look to build up a big gap so that I could squeeze in that extra pit stop over what I at the time thought was most of the field. So yeah, just keep pushing, keep creating purple sectors, that was the goal. So at this point, when I come in for my first pit stop, I can see there that there's a gap of about 20 seconds essentially to Lanchman and F1 XL Roland, who was flying at this point. I was initially instructed to switch to mediums, but as I'd said at the start of the race, I had made the decision to go soft, and the reason that I switched to soft was I just felt like I actually pushed the tyres. I was meant to pit on lap 9, but actually the tyres were doing okay, so I pushed them an extra lap, and I figured I could do the same again on softs, then I could actually run last stint on mediums. So I do come out here just behind Lanchman and F1 XL Roland, but they're now on old, slower tyres. I'm on brand new softs. I kind of felt like, yeah, I can get this back. I can get this back quite quickly, and then we're on pit stop parity. So unfortunately, what it did lead me to do was, you can see my traction was so good out these corners, even just on standard mix. But I kind of try a bit of a lunge up the side of Roland here, and luckily I slightly back out, and Roland gave me enough room, so got away with it. But I admit I shouldn't probably have done that, and if I hadn't done it, it might have been closer on this straight as well. So I didn't really help myself here, and again, apart from anything else, I could have lost a line. It was just stupid, to be honest. But luckily I got away with it, and I didn't affect Roland's race either. But yeah, my pace was quite good, and it would transpire they were going to pit the next lap anyway, so I probably didn't need to push quite as hard as I was for a space that I didn't desperately need to grab back. Going on to this straight though, I do get a good run out at the last corner. I get DRS, stick into Rich. To be honest, I thought I might have got a wee bit further alongside, but I still had to take a kind of not perfect entry into that, just to leave enough room. But after that, Lanchman had got a wee bit up the road, but again, still old medium tyres, brand new soft tyres. But Lanchman at this point did actually say, I can't remember exactly when, but at some point during this lap he said he was coming in for a pit at the end of this, so I knew it wasn't worth actually trying anything, so I just wait. So here we are in the final few corners of the last lap. By this point, I guess just with strategy and just actually probably racing as well as I raced, I'd got myself up to about a 42-second gap. I would lose a few of those seconds because I've got a 3-second time penalty for track extension, which I'm not massively unhappy with. But yeah, that was my 4th win of the season. Second pole of the season as well. Really not unhappy, and my 2 closest rivals actually never finished the race. Obviously the way you actually want to take the lead of the championship is not because all your rivals keep crashing out. It's kind of a bit sad because Sam Hayes seems like a really nice guy, but yeah, obviously I'm not complaining. This is the first time I've led the championship, did not expect to be here. I think only a few races ago, in fact maybe even less than that, I was over 40 points behind, so to have that kind of swing I'm not unhappy about at all. So yeah, here's the race results, and absolutely delighted with that. And that also means I'm now moved up to top of the championship, which again, pretty happy with. So cheers again, and I'll hopefully catch you next week.